Hi everyone! I want to share with you a very powerful planning technique that I love. If for some reason someone forbade me to use all the planning methods that I know except for one, this would be it. This is the one I would keep. I'm talking about the context tool from the Getting Things Done methodology. So what is it? A context is something that you need to be able to do your task. It can be a place, like I need to be in a particular store or city, for instance, or it can be a tool. Say I need a certain book to do this, or I need a certain document to be able to do this. Or it can be a person, like I need to be with my boss, or I need to be with my son's teacher. So most people have all of our tasks together in one single list, and this list can get very long. And the longer it gets, the more difficult it is for our brain to scan through it again and again just to pick what we should be working on next. Actually, it can get so overwhelming that we end up procrastinating, thinking we don't want to do these tasks when we just have this processing and decision fatigue. So context lists narrow down what I could be doing right now given my environment and keep the rest out of sight, yet safely recorded for later use. So how do we use this in planning? You can do context in a paper planner or in an app. I've done both over the years. For instance, for my corporate job, I always used a physical planner because I was meeting a lot of clients, and I just find that it's easier for me to build rapport when I'm not taking notes on a computer. So I would carry my Moleskin everywhere. My choice was always the Moleskin softcover weekly notes in black. And for context, what I did is cut a piece of cardstock to size, divide it into sections by placing post-its, one for each section, so that I could reuse this cardstock again and again, and then just carry it in between that week's spread. And that works so well for me. One of my star contexts was called boss. I figured that one way to be very professional is to maximize the value of the time that my boss gave me. So instead of distracting him throughout the week, I recorded all of my questions, updates, observations, just anything that came to my mind in this dedicated context until either our next meeting or until I had something substantial to engage over with him. And then whenever we sat down, there was a lot of substance to our conversations, and I think he really appreciated it. I also use context in my Filofax. I've been using a Filofax on and off for more than 10 years. This is a Lux in personal compact size Filofax, and I've had this one from 2012, I believe. That was my very first Filofax that my husband actually gave me as a gift. It's very easy to do context in a Filofax. You just keep a separate page for every context, and that's it. Oh, and just notice how a context must always be an objective thing. It's not about the perfect situation in which you'd like to work. Say, I would like to do this report in a coffee shop. No, it's about the actual situation in which you must do this task. So aside from people, places, tools, you can really play with it and create context that makes sense to you. You can do context based on your energy, moods, like even medical symptoms. For instance, I have a list for stuff that I can do when I'm on my period and I'm generally slow and low energy. You can have a list for simple actions that require no mental power, or a list for stuff that you can do when you feel sociable, like if you need to text or call someone. Right now, I use a digital tool for my context lists. I think there's one advantage that digital tools have. Generally, it's always a good idea to add any information that you might need to do a task, like add a phone number if you need to make a phone call and you don't have that person's number in your address book, or link the form that you need to fill out. But beyond that, in a digital planner, you can add pictures or links. I actually keep a Christmas list, contextual list all year round, because it's convenient for me to drop ideas there, even if they come to me in June. And I literally just opened my Christmas list this year, and I had a task there: buy a tabletop. And I remember I added it last year after I shopped for tabletops, and I got one, but then I saw some amazing tabletops in a store, and so I included a picture of those and the location where I saw them. So I don't even need to look for the perfect tabletop this year. Me a year ago did the work for me today. So yeah, give context a try if you haven't already. When you look at a context list, you don't get as overwhelmed and anxious as you do when you look at your 100 tasks or more all at once. I hope you find this technique helpful, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye!